County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your judge. It's about 9:04, and this is the probation and non-jury calendar. Let's go through a few things and get started. I'm going to mute everybody who's virtual. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, are entitled to the inherent human dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We'll extend that to each and every one of you as you interact with this court. Secondly, here are the steps we have taken during the COVID-19 pandemic to keep all of us safe. Number one, temperature was taken at the front door, and there's the appropriate COVID signage. Courtroom was cleaned this morning by the cleaning crew about 7:30 to make certain we all had a clean courtroom to come to. Masks are mandatory for everybody, including myself. You guys all look pretty good, but let's all take a moment, grab your masks, pull them up firmly over your nose. Masks. You need masks for those guys? Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. This is a new system that we're all working our way through. You're not going to hear a peep out of me other than thank you. All right, so masks are mandatory. You guys all keep your masks on the way you're supposed to, please. Use the social distance markers. That's those blue dots you all are on. Stay on those blue dots. They keep you 6 feet apart. No family members are allowed in, but we do stream this session and all sessions out to Facebook. Hand sanitizers everywhere. There's one dispenser there by the door. Every time you see one of those, use some. Two quick final thoughts on this. COVID-19 has taken well over 600,000 American lives. If you think on it on a much more personal level, every single one of us in this courtroom has somebody we dearly love that we don't want to get the virus. Do I have any silver bullets here? No, but let's hedge our bets. Let's be safe. Let's do what we can to all go home safely to our families at the end of the day. Don't talk during court. You guys want me to get you back to your lives just as quick as I can. That is my goal as well. And side conversations will slow that down. Virtual people, listen up. I have two of you. First of all, starting today and effective immediately moving forward, for defendants to report virtually to probation hearings, they must receive permission ahead of time from their probation officer and only for good cause. So I'm going to let Scott and Standard stay put, but I'm just moving forward saying that virtual probationers reporting virtually or not reporting to probation is coming to an end. Remain muted until I call your name. Grab a pen and a piece of paper right now to write down what's going on about your case and follow my directions. Cell phones, everybody here in the courtroom, reach into your pockets and purses and check that phone one last time before I officially get started. Because I can tell you right now, everybody's got pet peeves in life. Mine is cell phones ringing in the courtroom. Trust me, if you don't check it at this moment and it rings after this moment, you are going to spend a lot of time wishing you had checked it. All right, if you're here in this courtroom, you have a probation matter with me, or you're requesting an ignition interlock waiver or some other non-jury matter. If what I've said does not sound right, is there any other court going on today, or is it just me?
Yes,
Okay, so they'll point you in the right direction. There's other court. Warrants are going to be issued today for the defendants who fail to come to court. If you know anybody who is missing, tell them to report virtually or in person. All right, that's it for that. All right, let's call the calendar, and then I'm going to deal with the jail cases first and get you guys out of here. So, all right, calendar, then jail, then walk-ins. Off we go. All right, one of you gentlemen is Christopher Boston, is that correct? That's you, sir? All right, we'll deal with you first in just a moment. And obviously, Ms. Matthews, you were there, so if you have anything to let me know on, please let me know. All right, next case, Quicka Davis.
Here.
All right, thank you, Ms. Davis. Michael Forsyth. Michael Forsyth. Okay, Mr. Forsyth is a probation case, 20 SR 887. He is not present in the virtual system, nor is he present in the courtroom. Therefore, I'm authorizing a warrant for his arrest. Warrant. All right. Benjamin Geosman, Geosman.
Judge, that case is off. It should be Gossman.
Bossman. Okay. So spelling, need to check that. Got it. All right, excellent. I'm glad you guys' case back on track. Jaleesa Glover.
Here.
All right, thank you, Ms. Glover. Oh, you have two cases. Samuel Hill. Samuel Hill. All right, Samuel Hill is 20 SR 1731, not present in the courtroom, not present virtually. I'm authorizing a warrant. Mason Maddox. Here, thank you. Right. I have what are you here for, Mr. Maddox?
I'm driving.
Do you have a driver's history or something for me to look at? All right, give it to the bailiffs. How old are you?
20.
Okay, so you're one of my speeding people that you got suspended because you're under 21 and you got a speeding ticket. Okay, now I know where you're going. Thank you. Fantastic. Great job. This is everything I needed. Thank you. I'll get back to you in a minute. So Carrie and Mason.
Here.
All right, thank you. How do you pronounce your first name?
Focurian.
Focurian. Okay, you got it right. Thank you. Quinitra Montgomery. Quinitra Montgomery. All right. On probation, 20 TK 1063. Not present in the courtroom nor virtually. Therefore, I'm authorizing a warrant. Avery Morgan.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's page one. All right, one of you is Michael Nicholson. All right, Mr. Nicholson, we'll get back to you in just a moment. Jamar Robinson. Jamar Robinson. All right, that's 20 SR 1670. That's a pretrial diversion case. SR 1670. All right, I'm issuing a pretrial diversion bench warrant for failure to appear as directed. All right. case is officially in warrant status. Courtney Smith.
Here.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Standard is here virtually. All right, one of you gentlemen is Enriquez Tolan, is that you, sir? Okay. That's my 3 jail cases. And then, Lucretia Walker.
Here.
All right, that's the calendar. I have 2 people virtual who I do not have on the calendar. Ms. Matthews, tell me if these are witnesses. I have an Ashley Scott.
Judge, I'm unaware of who Ashley Scott is. Dee Ingram is a witness.
And is that on Ms. Lovers?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. I'm going to do the jail cases and then I'll call Ms. Glover's case. All right. Let's pivot over to the jail cases then.
Judge Thacker,
Yes.
Tommy Smith was on the calendar. He is off, but for record purposes, I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Oh, did I skip it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for that. I'm marking Tommy Smith off my list of things to worry about. All right, I need Christopher Boston to please come around and step up to the podium. All right, good morning, Mr. Boston.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Boston and Ms. Matthews, y'all both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Boston, you are here today on 19 SR 1420 because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that because you are incarcerated, you have the right to have the public defender's office represent you?
Yes, sir.
I need you to speak up, I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a little louder. You've got a microphone, use it. Mr. Boston, do you understand that if you asked me for a continuance today, I would give it to you freely, and I would give you time to apply with the public defender's office, and you would be guaranteed representation?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you can waive the right to have them represent you and go forward today without an attorney? Do you understand those 2 choices?
Yes, sir.
Can I answer any questions for you about those options?
No, sir.
What do you want to do?
Go for it today.
Go forward today. All right, so let's talk this through then. According to, so I'm having some technical difficulties. Give me just a second. All right, Ms. Boston, the petition here says that you missed, the last time you reported to probation was on September 25th of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
that you did not keep your address updated with probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That I scheduled a revocation hearing with you on December 3rd of 2020, and you failed to appear for that hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you now have a new charge of no driver's license.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to find with your admission on each of these that there is enough for me to find that you willfully violated your probation. I am going to find a couple of things. Number one, that you have not had a previous hearing with me,
Yes, sir.
and that I have a ton of time left, 257 days.
Yes, sir.
So here's what we're going to do. I want you to get your license back. Can you do that for me?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's make that so. What do you need to do to get your license back?
Go take the test.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I were to give you 45 days to do that, do you think that would be enough time?
More than enough time.
Okay. That was my goal, is to give you time for something to go wrong, fix it, and still get it done without me needing to adjust your deadlines. All right, well, this is what we're going to do. You've been in, according to my notes and my records, 17 days. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And let's see if there's anything else holding you. Okay. You do have the new charges, but they are not holding you. You've been granted an OR bond by me on those.
Yes, sir.
So this is your last hold.
Yes, sir.
This is good. All right, so here we go. You are to serve 17 days in the Spalding County Jail with credit for time served. You are to report weekly until you're back in full compliance.
Yes, sir.
You are on zero tolerance for 60 days. So for the next 60 days, you've got to do everything exactly right. If you step out of the line even an inch, I'm going to issue a warrant. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Miss Matthews, I was going to have him report tomorrow, but in the off chance that, I don't know, something happens he doesn't, would you rather me have him report next Wednesday or?
Judge, if you don't mind, we can do tomorrow. And then if you
Okay.
would put or within 72 hours of release, and that'll give him the option to come into the office and we can give him another date if tomorrow doesn't work out. With him
Right.
being there in the jail today, I should get the paperwork when you come over and get that sent over before 5 today.
Okay, so I'm thinking you should get out today. I just wanted to be careful. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, so I'm going to put that you're going to report tomorrow. So that's 6/25/2021 in person. And that's between 9 and noon or 1:30 and 6. Or within 72 hours, and that's only if you miss that window.
Yes, sir.
So if you get out today and you don't report tomorrow, I'm going to issue a warrant, never look back. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you get out of jail tomorrow after 6 p.m., then it's 72 hours.
Yes,
So
sir.
Monday. So you either going to report Friday,
I'm
or
ready.
if you miss it because you're still incarcerated Monday.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put that I want you to get your Georgia driver's license. And I want you to have that within 45 days.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Matthews, as you're looking at your system, do you need me to address anything else in this case?
Judge, if Mr. Boston would give us an updated address and phone number just in case he doesn't come in tomorrow, we have that.
All right, slowly lean into the mic, loudly give Ms. Matthews a good address and then a good phone number.
739 East Central Avenue.
That's here in Griffin,
Yes, sir.
30223.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's a good phone number?
449529780.
It's not right. All right, Ms. Matthews, do you need anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Austin, you're going to sign that acknowledging the changes I've made. The bailiffs will then give you a copy. Before you leave, we'll get the process today. And since there are no other holds, unless something jumps up and grabs you,
Yes, sir.
with what I'm looking at now, you should get out today. But I've always got to be a little bit careful and say, if a hold jumps up, I can't do anything about that.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can go back to the jury box. Nicholson? All right. And Holder, do you all need a copy of that, you have that with you? Or does that, when the clerk processes it, they'll email out a copy today?
Yeah, when the
Is
clerk-
that the copy that matters?
Once it goes to the clerk, then they'll email it out. I should.
All right, so that's just for him then.
Yeah, but I mean, I could take one and drop it off to Ashley. She might speed up the process.
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. Smith, this is our new system, our new system. So I just want to make sure we talk it through and are careful. So, thank you, Mr. Smith. All right, you are Michael Nicholson.
Yes, sir.
Please, both of you, please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right. Mr. Nicholson, you are here today on two cases. You're here on 18 TK 4798 and 19 TK 3787. Do you understand that because you are incarcerated, you have the absolute right to have the public defender's office represent you?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you can waive that right to an attorney and have your hearing today if you so choose?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about the fact that you have the right to have an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to continue this case and give you a chance to apply, or do you want to go forward today without an attorney?
Go forward.
All right. Mr. Nicholson, you have two cases again, 18 TK 4798 and 19 TK 3707. The petitions read identically. Number one, that you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
Did you fail to pay your fees or otherwise apply to have them waived?
Yes, yes, sir.
Did you fail to complete court community service work that you converted out of your fine into community service work?
Yes, sir.
And that would have been back on January 17th of this year. Did you miss your court date with me to address these revocation matters on May 21st of 2020?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you caught new felony charges. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me see what your original charges are. Okay. All right. Anything you want me to know before I make my decision on your case?
No, sir.
All right. Your original charges are, I'm going to basically call them standard traffic violations. You have now been incarcerated as of today, a total of, I believe, 20 days. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You are no bonded, I believe, on your new charges.
Yes, sir.
So nothing I do is going to get you out or keep you in because you're just in. Okay. All right. This will work. Anything else you want me to know?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm just going to close out your cases, Mr. Nicholson. All right. The decision on the court is as follows. As you have acknowledged that you have new charges, I'm going to find that I don't think those charges are going to end up with bonds. I'm just closing out your case. So you, let's see, to give you the credit on the 20, I'm just going to do 120 days to serve in the Spalding County Jail, credit for time served, terminate your bounds. These cases are both closed. Ms. Matthews, are there any additional cases or anything else I need to address?
No, sir.
Anything else you need from me on these before I have him sign his paperwork and send it back?
No, sir.
All right, 120 days to serve on each case, credit for time served, terminate the balance. You may sign each of these. Mr. Taylor advised nicely, make 2 copies, one for court services and one for. All right, if you've signed it, you may go back. And Mr. Tullen, you may come up. All right, you are Enriquez Tullen.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tullen, Ms. Matthews, y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, Mr. Tullen, you are here on 18 SR 0837. You're here today because your probation officer filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that because you're incarcerated, you have the absolute right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And if you wish to ask me for a continuance, I would absolutely grant it without hesitation, give you the opportunity to apply with the Public Defender's Office, and again, you'd be guaranteed representation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you wish to waive your right to have an attorney, you may go forward today without one. If that is what you so choose, I have no preference, you must choose for yourself. Do you have any questions on that option?
No, sir.
What would you like to do?
Move forward.
Move forward. Okay. Mr. Sullivan, this petition says that you've missed all of your report dates. Have you missed all of your report dates?
I missed all of them, because I had sat down there 2 years, they put me on probation, I stayed in jail another year after that. So when I got out last May, I didn't have no valid address, and I've been locked up now since November 2nd, I still haven't been
Sorry,
out.
and I didn't catch any of that. So I want to hear what you want to tell me, but I need you to do it at a speed I can hear you. Try again.
When I sat down in the jail from 2018 to 2020, when they gave me 12-month probation, I think I might have sat in jail almost another year after I got the probation. So when I got out last May 2020, I was out like 3 or 4 months. I ain't had no valid address at the time, because my sister had put me out, so I was staying like motel to motel. So I've been locked up now 7 months in Monroe County. They just came and got me 3 weeks ago and brought me here.
Where have you been sitting this whole time?
In Monroe County Jail, and they just came and got me 3 weeks ago and brought me here.
So between Spalding and Monroe.
And then I also went to Jackson when I left here last, in 2020 May. I left here, went to Bucks County first.
Okay.
So I really been locked up about 7 or 8 months still since I got out last May. And I don't know exact day they put me on probation, but I never got out of jail when they gave me probation.
So you've been in it. Have you seen daylight since?
I don't see daylight about 3 months. Since I got out May 20. I've been locked up really since 2018, you might as well say. In Spalding County Jail.
Ms. Matthews, are there any consecutive cases or any other cases I need to address on this?
And I got 3 bench warrants, but on this witness plate, DOP. Just me.
Judge, there's no consecutive cases. Looking at the notes, I think what happened, we have him released as of May 26th of 2020. And I think that's going to be that 3-month span he's mentioning to you. And then we obtained a warrant on him by July 9th of 2020, which was prior to him probably being in Monroe. But Monroe County is not a local county jail, so that's not one we're required to check.
And I was in Bucks then before I got to Monroe on that date right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you said you have other bench warrants. Oh, you have several.
Yeah, I've been locked up on all of them.
Okay. All right, that's easy enough. Okay. In these cases, so just for the record, you've got 4 cases pending with me.
Yes, sir.
20 SR 1149, 20 SR 1174, 20 SR 1175, and 20 SR 1176. Have you applied with the Public Defender's Office on those cases?
That's not been out.
Do you intend to apply with the Public Defender's Office on those cases?
Yes, and I got a valid address now.
I didn't catch that.
Yes, sir, I got a valid address now.
All right, so I'm gonna ask, Holder, when you get him back, on those 4 cases that I've just identified, they're all bench warrant holds with me. If you would just give him an app, or ask somebody to give him an application out there so he can apply. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, so, Mr. Tolan, you can't get out anyway. You've got a felony probation hold.
Yes, sir.
You got these bench warrants with me. I don't see any scenario where returning you to probation is in either of our best interests. I think the best thing for both of us is for me to close this case
Yes, sir.
and let you start facing forward, because you got a mess and you have a long way to go till you'll see daylight.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so Mr. Tolan, I'm going to give you credit for the time that you've served. I'm gonna order 200 days revoked,
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm closing this case, 18 SR 0837.
And I go to court August 11th for the felony VOP.
I can answer that.
Yeah, they told me August 11th. It's a tech not report because I locked up in Monroe County, so.
The felony is 20R 198.
Yes, sir.
20R 198, according to my database, says that you have, all right, they haven't put it in the court date yet, but August 11th sounds about right.
Yes, sir.
And then I've got, no, I'm August 11th. There's no court date on your felony. I'm August 11th. Your 4 cases are set for August 11th,
Okay,
which means you need to fill out that application today
I did.
to give the public defender's office time to apply.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, that's it. Anything else for me? Ms. Matthews, does this remove Mr. Tolan as one of your probationers at this time altogether, or are there anything else?
No, that's the last case we have in our system for Mr. Tolan right now.
All right, so I've checked that box off of you, so. All
So what I got waiting on?
right.
The rest of the case, August 11th.
Everything else.
All right.
The felony's got the felony
You
probation.
can't send
holds
me
coming.
they gonna let me do half for a year and get out of there or something. Get it over with.
Well, that's what we'll figure out on August 11th, so.
Yeah.
All right, you can go back over there.
Yeah.
All right, Jaleesa Glover, come on up, Ms. Glover. Yeah. Ms. Glover, you can have a seat right there at the table. All right, this is Jaleesa Glover, 20 SR 0069. I believe there's a second case, which is 20 SR 70. Ms. Matthews, Ms. Glover, you'll both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, all of it, the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, we're sworn. Everybody's sworn. Let's get started. Ms. Glover, will you please state your full name for the court reporter?
Jaleesa Kiana Glover.
All right, Ms. Glover, lean into that mic and speak up so we can hear you, okay?
Jaleesa Kiana Glover.
Excellent. Ms. Glover, you have 2 cases, as I said, on the calendar. And I believe there's a virtual witness on this case. Is that correct, Ms. Matthews?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. So I'm going to read. Are you ready to start your hearing, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. So the petition says that you did. The petition says that you did on. Oh, okay. So they're actually reading a little different. So I'm going to start with 20 SR 69. Count 2 says it failed to pay your fees as ordered or properly request waiver. Is that correct?
Correct.
Number 3 on that petition says that you failed to provide proof of completing the Family Violence Intervention Program.
I'm still in progress with that.
Have you started it timely and continued it without interruption?
It's still on the 21-week. The interruption is I'm trying to get payments paid. I did complete the compliance letter that they wanted, and they needed 2 other letters, which is coming from my mom and my sister.
Okay.
And
I'm going to just mark that down as a denial. And then it says that you provided me with unverifiable, which is a fancy word for false community service work hours. Did you provide me with false community service work hours?
no, sir.
Okay. This is a contested hearing. I will therefore be deciding this matter after a full hearing, and I will decide by preponderance of the evidence whether or not Ms. Glover has violated her probation. I'm actually going to just do the whole thing as a contested hearing, Ms. Matthews, so let's just treat all allegations as if they are contested. The way this will work is Ms. Matthews will testify first. You can see her up on the screen there. When she finishes testifying about each of these matters, you'll be given an opportunity to cross-examine and question her. At the end of her testimony, she may call any other witnesses she wishes. And then when she's finished, you may have an opportunity, but not an obligation, to present evidence in your defense. Do you understand how this is about to work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Matthews, you're under oath. If you would please tell me what's going on with this case.
Yes, sir. On the fees, Judge, she's made one payment of $20. She's currently in arrears $250 to the probation fees on case number 20 SR 0069. The Family Violence Intervention Program is actually a continued condition of a previous case that it was actually ordered on that case. I could get you that case number, but I do not have that readily available, Judge. And so when she came before you on a revocation on that case, you made that condition a condition of her other cases. As far as I understand, she has an outstanding balance of approximately over $700. Therefore, they're not willing to allow her to continue the classes or provide her any further documentation because of the outstanding balance. They've allowed her to do the 21 classes without making payments. So she has not been continuously going without interruption to complete that condition. On the converted community service, she actually has converted hours on both of these cases. She attempted to turn in community service by email to Officer Pope. The first email that came through to Officer Pope, the log that she attached to the email was blank. So Ms. Pope emailed her back and advised her and told her the log that you sent me back is there's no hours on it. So then she resent her an email where you've got today.
No, hey, Ms. Matthews, you muted.
I apologize, Judge. You should have Exhibit A in front of you today, which you can see the community service is typed by supervisor signature of E. Ingram. And then on Exhibit B, there's a different log where the hours are from earlier that year from the same organization. Once Ms. Pope saw the community service, the way it was typed on Exhibit B, it made her question the hours because if you look at the name, it's kind of typed over it. The date for March the 8th is missing a time in. We're not familiar with this organization. So Ms. Pope requested the name of the organization, the person responsible for signing off on the community service, and a phone number. Ms. Glover provided a phone number, but it was not the organization's phone number. So Ms. Pope researched the organization, contacted the organization's phone number based off of their website, and got in touch with Ms. Ingram. That is the witness here on this case. We've spoken to Ms. Ingram, and she stated that the defendant has done some community service there in the past, but she has not done any of the hours on the logs. We turned these logs into Ms. Ingram for her to review, and they do not have any record that coincides with the dates on either one of these logs. I had Officer Pope confirm with Ms. Ingram if there would be anyone else that would have the authority to sign from her organization, and she says that there is not. There is a Trudy, one lady that's involved in the community service, but that lady does not sign off on the community service. She brings it to Ms. Ingram, and Ms. Ingram signs off on the community service. She states that they do not type them up the way that the community service that Ms. Glover has turned in to us today.
All right, and let's, for procedural purposes, because I'm about to pass these down to Ms. Glover to take a look at. So the one with the community service work log that has fully filled out, typed from top to bottom, that's State's Exhibit A, is that correct?
Yes, Judge, that's correct.
All right, I'm marking that as State's Exhibit A. And then State's Exhibit B is the one that's kind of typed out, half filled out, only got a couple lines on it. Is that B?
That's correct, Judge.
And then I'll call C, the email that you referenced where Ms. Glover, Officer Pope reached out to Glover. And I guess the following emails attached to it. So I'll just call these three emails C. Is that fair enough? Or do you want me to call them C, D, and E?
Judge, Exhibit C is perfectly fine.
Okay. All right, well, those three together are going to be C. And what I'll do is I will, are there any other exhibits in here that I need to address? Looks like there's some community choice status report.
I have two,
Okay, hold on, these are her exhibits. Let me get her to tell me what she wants to do. So what are these community choice documents here? Is this the family violence thing?
Yes, sir. That's the one that shows she's completed 21 of the classes. There's a note from the provider on there that states where she's the $700 in arrears, and they won't allow her to complete any more at this time.
Okay, so that doesn't have anything to do with this allegation of false hours.
No, sir.
Great. That's all right, Mr. Taylor. If I ask nicely, will you please pass these three documents down to Ms. Glover? This one's A, B, and then the packet is C. Ms. Glover, the state has tendered A, B, and C to me as exhibits on your matter. I'm having the bailiff show them to you. Ms. Matthews, do you wish to tender those at this time?
Yes, sir.
All right, so she's tendered them. Do you have any objection to me using those documents in my decision-making process on your case?
no, sir.
All right, you'll pass them back up. A, B, and C are tendered and admitted without objection. I will, for record purposes, I'll keep these, I'll scan them in, and I'll provide an electronic copy to the court reporter to keep in case a transcript ever needs to be created on this. And for record purposes, Exhibit C is 4 pages. Okay. All right, so Ms. Matthews, I now have these documents tendered and admitted into evidence. Anything else you wish to testify about yourself? Let's go ahead and set aside, by the way, the family violence intervention and the fees. I think we've covered that. Moving forward, let's just talk about these false hours. Do you have anything else you want me, the allegation of false hours, excuse me. Anything else you want me to know about that?
Not at this moment, Judge.
All right. Ms. Glover, you have the right to ask Ms. Matthews questions. It's called cross-examination. If you do so, just keep your seat, lean into the mic, and ask Ms. Matthews questions that you have. Make certain you stop at the end of your question and let her answer. All right, do you have any questions you wish to ask?
Ms. Matthews, it was not a particular question, but I was appointed by, one of the, employees that worked with SUIAP to, help out, do arrangements with, help building, painting and stuff like that. Were those appointed in the documents as well?
Just to make sure I understand the question, you're asking me if the documents that you submitted and just reviewed relate to you painting?
No. I wanted to know if that was put in the document.
If you painted something, if that was put into the document, I apologize, I don't understand the
I'm sorry,
question.
for the community service work that I have done, was that put in the documentation on, the computer?
Judge, I apologize, I don't understand the question.
Okay, I think I understand it, so I'm gonna translate it, and then Ms. Glover is gonna tell me if I've misunderstood as well. I think what she's asking is, do you have any records of the actual work she allegedly did perform at SWEAC, SWEEAC? Do you have any record of the actual tasks she alleges she completed?
No, I do not. The records that I have are the records that she emailed Officer Pope, and those are the records that we submitted to the court.
Did I get your question correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's ask your next question.
That's, the first question, that's it.
That's all I have.
I have documentation of that right here.
All right, if you wish to testify in a minute, I'll give you that chance. Okay, Ms. Matthews, you may call your next witness.
Judge, we call Ernesta Ingram.
All right. Ms. Ingram, if you will turn your video camera on, please, and unmute yourself. All right, I've sent you an unmute request, Ms. Ingram. There we go. And if you could turn your video on, it'll swap over to you.
Okay. I'm a little slow at this.
Oh, that's okay, we all are. So,
I'm trying to
there we
figure
go.
out
There's
what.
Ms. I can
see
see
me?
you. Hold on just a second. I think I can bring you up front. There we go.
Okay.
All right, good morning. Can you see me waving at you here?
Uh-huh. Good morning.
And I'm gonna move the camera around so you can see me really well and see Miss Glover really well. So give me just a second on that. All right, if I've done that right, Miss Ingram, you should be able to see me very clearly waving at you. Can you see me here?
Yes, I can.
And can you see Miss Glover seated at the defense table? So your camera
Yes,
is clear. Excellent.
I can.
We've got the preliminaries out of the way. If you'll please raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, please take your hand down and state your full name for the court reporter.
Ernesta Blackman Ingram.
And can you spell your first name for me?
Ernesta.
All right. Ms. Matthews is officially your, the person who's going to be asking you questions, so I will allow her to do that at this time.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Ingram.
Good morning.
For the record, will you state your position?
Executive Director.
At what organization?
SWEAC is the name of the organization, which stands for the Southwest Ecumenical Emergency Assistance Center.
And at the organization, do you allow community service?
Yes, we do.
If someone completes community service with your organization, who is responsible for signing off on their logs or submitting any documentations to any providers?
That would be me.
Is there anyone else at your organization that you've given permission to sign in your absence or for you?
If I'm not available, that would be Trudy Willis. Willis is her last name. Yeah, I think you had her first name. But she would if I was not available. Yes. But
When
I
you,
have been.
yes, ma'am. When you submit documentation, we emailed you copies of the logs that Ms. Glover sent in. Do y'all typically go in on a person's log and type in hours as the documentation on Ms. Glover's logs showed?
We have never done that. No.
How do y'all fill out a person's community service log?
It is handwritten. They give the form to me. I actually have blank forms myself that I can provide if they're missing one. And it is handwritten.
By you or signed by Ms. Willis?
By me.
Yes, ma'am. Are there any days your organization is not open?
Yes, ma'am. Those days would be Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
When you reviewed the logs that we sent you from Ms. Glover, did you notice that any of the dates on her log were those days?
Yes, ma'am. That would be 4/3, 4/6, 4/13, 4/18, 4/20, 5/7, 5/11, 5/15, 5/21, 5/23, and 5/25.
So if a person completed community service with your organization, there's absolutely no way that anyone would have been able to get any hours on any of the dates you just put on the record.
That's right. We're closed and the door is locked.
Do you have any record of Ms. Glover completing community service at your organization at all in the year of 2021?
No, I do not.
Has she ever completed community service at your organization in any other year?
You know, I heard you mention that, and I don't show record of it at all. The only time we may overlook someone, maybe that very first time they come in and they fail to sign in, because in addition to this form, there's a volunteer sign-in sheet. But the next time they come, they will sign in. So for her to say there's a consistency here or an ongoing volunteer opportunity, that is highly, highly unlikely.
And you keep records for your own organization of who comes and completes community service there, so you can refer back and you look through those logs when we asked you about the dates that Ms. Glover presented us.
Exactly.
Judge, I rest at this time.
All right, you may ask Ms. Ingram any questions you may have. Ms. Glover.
Ms. Ingram, I do have two paperworks right here along with what the judge has shown you. Your signature is on both paperworks, the initial and full last name and your first initial. Is there any way she can verify that at this time?
Yes, if you will turn on the document camera and lay it up there, I'll put it up so that you can see it.
I do not write in cursive at all.
All right, Ms. Ingram, I'm asking the bailiff to put a document on the document camera. And I'm going to, I'm going to move this over to grid so we can see both Ms. Matthews and Ms. Ingram at the same time. There we go. All right, you ready, Mr. Taylor? All right, Ms. Ingram, tell me if you can see this. I'm about to send it up to you. Can you see that document that I put on the screen?
I can.
All right, and if you'll zoom in, I changed the setting yesterday, so if you hit zoom now, you don't have to hit all the focus. It's right there with a plus sign on it. Do you see it? So let him zoom in and then it'll refocus. I'm really proud of that. I fixed that yesterday.
Yes, this is definitely my signature.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is not, what I see here is, it is not completely filled out. It doesn't indicate the year. But let me finish, baby. It does not indicate the year that was done, and I can't confirm that it was you.
All right, Mr. Taylor, if you'll pull that down just a little bit, I just would like to see the top of it. Okay, all right, so the witness was unable to identify this item fully. All right, Ms. Glover, do you want Mr. Taylor to put that other document up?
Both of the documents are same with back in 2019. I started in 2019, with both documentations.
Ms.
That's
Ingram,
what-
can you recognize that document, the second one? I'm gonna call that Defense Exhibit 2, the first one will be D1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll keep both of those, scan them in and email them out. Do you wish
Okay.
those-
What I
Let me-
can, I'm sorry. What
No,
I
that's
can,
my fault, Ms. Ingram. I was trying to say you finish and then I'm gonna put a few things on the record.
okay. What I can confirm based on this, the very last one is not me at all. That was not completed by me. That's not my writing nor my initial signature. The first two, yes. So I'm assuming that occurred in 20. I don't still have the records of 19. I didn't know I needed to go back that far. And I really wasn't concentrating on 20 because this clearly says all of this occurred in 21 when I said I had no record that she ever volunteered. So I stand corrected on that maybe in 20 and 19 she did for a few days, but outside of that, no. And this is the standard form that I use. Nothing is ever typed. But the very last one is not me.
Okay. All right. Then do you wish to tender those into the record, Ms. Glover?
Those two, yes.
All right, Ms. Matthews, any objections to me using those in my decision-making process?
No, sir, no objection. I do have a comment.
All right, we'll circle back to that then. All right, defendants exhibits 1 and 2. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I'll be happy to take those. I'm marking those as they were identified as D1 and D2. Again, I will scan these and email out copies. Ms. Glover, is your email address
HumbleJalisa24@gmail.com.
All right, humblejalisa24@gmail.com. All right, when I get these scanned in, I'll send out copies to you. And I'll turn over the originals to probation to hold. Okay, do you wish to ask Ms. Ingram any additional questions?
No,
All right, Ms. Matthews, before I ask my questions of Ms. Ingram, do you have any additional questions to ask?
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead.
Ms. Ingram, Ms. Glover just presented 2 new documentations that I have not reviewed, Officer Pope has not reviewed, and I'm assuming those are documents that we did not send you to confirm or deny. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And the dates that we sent you are on the typed logged. Those are the dates in question. And now we see that she did possibly complete community service at your organization back in 2020. But the dates that we just reviewed now on the handwritten logs, those are not the same dates that we emailed you and questioned about today, correct?
That is correct. I can definitely confirm we have not seen Jalisa in 2021.
Judge, I rest.
All right, here are my questions. Ms. Ingram, is there an Edward Ingram in your organization?
No, sir.
Is SWEAC, or how do you say the short name of your organization?
You said it correctly. SWEAC, like you're sweeping. SWEAC, yes.
SWEAC. Is SWEAC, SWEEAC,
That is
a division of the Atlanta Community Food Bank?
yes.
Okay. Is the number 678-887-5539 associated with your organization?
No.
Okay. And you said there's nobody named Edward Ingram?
No, sir.
Okay.
Judge, if I ask a
All right, so because I've asked questions, that restarts the clock. Ms. Matthews, you get to go first, and then Ms. Glover, you get to go second. If you have any additional questions.
Judge, I don't have any additional questions.
Okay. Ms. Glover, you may ask additional questions.
This is for Ms. Ingram. Ms. Ingram, there is a tall, dark-skinned guy that works. Edward Ingram. That's the name that he gave me. And that's who signed off on the paperwork. Now, we worked those days and I visited his house, attended, and did some community service work. That's who completed. Are you familiar with this guy?
There is no Edward Ingram. We have a number of tall gentlemen. And on the days, are you talking about in the year 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these dates on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are dates that we are not in service. We're not working, not at this location. Can you tell me, am I allowed to ask a question?
No, ma'am, I'm sorry. You can
Okay.
pose the question and I'll take it, I'll hear your question, but you can't ask the defendant questions. But you can certainly put the question out there and we can consider it.
Okay. So that's my response to you,
Mhm.
then Jaleesa. So I would like to pose a question for the court. I would like to know what those responsibilities were.
Okay. And if Ms. Matthews, as the questioner for the state, determines those to be proper, and if Ms. Glover chooses to provide testimony, which she is under zero obligations to do, then Ms. Matthews may choose to ask that question. Okay, Ms. Ingram?
Yes.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Ingram before I mute her? And Ms. Ingram, or Ms. Matthews, anything else for Ms. Ingram?
No, Judge, not at this time.
Ms. Glover, anything else for Ms. Ingram?
Was not a question.
Okay, Ms. Ingram, I'm going to mute you. If you wish to shut off your camera, you may. You're welcome to be released and to go, or to just sit tight and listen to the remainder of the hearing, whatever you prefer. Okay, Ms. Ingram?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Matthews, you may call your next witness.
Judge Thacker, we rest.
All right, Ms. Glover, the state has rested, which means they've provided me with everything they're going to provide me on this case. You may have an opportunity at this time, but certainly not an obligation to present evidence in your defense. If you choose to remain silent, I will not hold that silence against you. If you choose to testify, however, you will testify from your seat, and you will be cross-examined by Ms. Matthews, and I, of course, may ask follow-up questions to clarify any questions or concerns that I have. I just need to make certain that you know that if you waive it fully. You're either all in or all out. Do you understand your options?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do? Testify or not testify?
Testify.
Okay. By testifying, I'm going to remind you that you're under oath. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that anything you say is made under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
All right, then you can just lean into the microphone, stay in your seat, and testify to, or do you need me to bigger up here? Would that be easier for you?
As long as she speaks up.
All right, so just look at me if she's not. All right, so lean into the mic really loudly and tell me what you want me to know, slow and clear. Now go.
Those dates that were provided by Edward Ingram, I can describe the guy. He's tall, gray streaks in his hair, goatee, and those are the dates that I was provided to attend at his location. I don't have my phone at this time to provide the address, but I was painting, doing yard work, and babysitting his 4 kids, which I do with my other friends who babysit. But other than that, those were the only ones that on those dates were provided. The rest of the days I did attend, but I didn't stay for long.
Okay.
But he was the one that jotted down everything,
Okay.
and I sat and watched. So he was the one that provided Edward Ingram, the hours that I stayed, and everything else.
All right, let me repeat back what I think I just heard. You were supervised by an individual named Edward Ingram, who you're saying is a part of the CWAC organization, and you provided community service work to him off-site,
Yes,
on the closed days.
yes,
And that's this typed E period Ingram
correct,
is Edward Ingram.
correct.
Okay. Anything else you want me to know before Ms. Matthews asks you any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Matthews, you may cross-examine.
Ms. Glover, so today you presented community service from 2012, and that was Ms. Ernesta Ingram's signature on it, correct?
Correct.
So when you went back in 2021, did you ask for Ms. Ernesta Ingram to supervise your community service?
No,
Did you ask Edward Ingram if he had permission to sign your community service log?
no. He provided the service work. When we talked, he said, "Yeah, I'll be able to do everything and make sure you get your community service work." So I was under the impression that Edward Ingram was part of SUYAC. I haven't been with SUYAC too long to know, the ins and outs of who's supposed to sign what and what's supposed to be signed.
When you completed the community service in 2020, did Edward Ingram ever supervise you then?
No, I never seen him then.
In 2020, did you ever leave the organization's location and go outside and complete community service?
No, I went
So in
straight.
2021, when Edward Ingram allegedly gave permission or states that he has authority, it never raised any red flags when you left the organization's location that he may not have the authority to sign your community service log.
Not with me, ma'am. No.
When you completed this community service with Edward Ingram, were there any other community service workers with you?
No.
Judge, I rest.
All right. Ms. Glover, anything else you want me to know before you rest?
No, sir.
All right.
That's it.
You rest at this point.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Matthews, any rebuttal?
No, sir.
All right, the evidence is closed. Okay. I have heard everything I need to make a decision on this case. I'm ready to issue my decision. I have received a record, and I will keep State's Exhibit A, State's Exhibit B, and State's Exhibit C. I will scan these in at the conclusion of the meeting and email out copies to everyone. I have an email address, and I will include Ms. Glover in it as she's representing herself. I'm also in possession of Defense Exhibit 1 and Defense Exhibit 2. I will scan these in and email them out. Ms. Matthews, I will deliver the original to you for safekeeping, and I will ask you to keep these for a period of 1 year in the file. My decision on this matter is as follows. As to the Family Violence Intervention Program, and as to the failure to pay fees, I'm actually not going to make a decision on that. I don't think that is necessary, as what I'm about to do is rendering the rest of it to be moot. Ms. Glover, what I've heard today is deeply, deeply troubling. We have heard from Mrs. Ingram, who is the head of SWEAC, SWEEAC. You provided me in Defense Exhibit 1 with an almost appropriately filled out community service work that Ms. Ingram identified as her own signature. But then you provided me with D2, which Ms. Ingram also looked at over the virtual system, and she said that is not her filling it out. So even in your own defense, you've provided me with a false document in an effort to prove your case. In the matter at hand, so I'll just state those two as context. In the matter at hand, though, I am looking at two forms, both of which are 100% typed. State's Exhibit A is a fully typed, all cap, not fully filled out document that has 0 original signatures on it, 0 handwriting, and was clearly either printed or typed on a typewriter. All of the individual who is on all lines is E. Ingram. Testified today was Miss Ingram. She testified that her first name starts with an E and her last name is Ingram. I questioned her and asked her whether or not there was an Edward Ingram associated with her organization, and she said no. She also said that several of these dates are not available for community service work because the location is closed. Ms. Glover has successfully completed community service work with the organization previously, which means she knew exactly how this was supposed to work, who she was supposed to contact, and the steps she was supposed to take. I find for the record that Ms. Ingram waived her right to remain silent, chose to testify and present evidence, and failed to call a Mr. Edward Ingram to provide me with confirmation that A, he exists, and B, he was legitimately believing to be both a member of CWAC, which I find not without merit, to be without merit, and a signer to be without merit. So I'm going to find that there is a sufficient amount of evidence, Ms. Glover, for me to find by a preponderance of the evidence that you have intentionally, willfully, and knowingly provided me with false community service work hours. This is a felony in the state of Georgia, as it is a false statement to a governmental agency. Therefore, I will respond as if you have committed a felony, and the decision of the court is as follows. Both of your cases are concurrent. Yep, both of your cases are concurrent, and I'm going to put that after a contested hearing, that I am revoking the absolute balance of every single day available to me. I am so sick and tired of revoking people's probations for cheating, considering how hard we work in this court to help people who are struggling with their community service work. So instead of asking us for help, do not interrupt me, Ms. Glover. I gave you a full hearing. I gave you a full opportunity. I listened to every word that came out of your mouth. I looked at every document, and this is not your hearing, Ms. Glover. It is my hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do not interrupt me again. Do you understand me?
My apologies.
I gave you your hearing. I weighed this carefully. I did not rush to judgment. This is my courtroom, not yours.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Glover, I am revoking every day available to me of 196 days. You will serve the entire balance of that in the Spalding County Jail. I am closing these cases, and let this be yet one more warning to anyone who decides they think they should cheat on their community service work, that I will respond with the fullest extent of my abilities. You may go with the deputies. You have 30 days from today if you want to appeal this decision.
I didn't even know. Postal.
All right, everybody's gonna want me to take a break right now. I'm going to do this young man's permit order. I'll be back on the bench at 10:30, and we'll finish up this calendar. through these ones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I saved you all for last because generally addressing you all goes a whole lot faster than those first set. So don't let the fact that it's 10:30 make you nervous. We are about to get you all out of here and back on track in rapid fire session. Let's start out with my easiest person, Mason Maddox. Come on up. All right, Mr. Maddox is here on 20 TK 1061. Just come to the podium there. Mr. Maddox, this is easiest because there's nothing I can do for you. You're in the wrong court. But I'm about to give you directions and tell you what to do. When you leave here, you're going to have a path of action. You ready?
Okay.
So I started filling out the form you need from me, which is DDS 665B. This is the form that gives me permission to give you a limited permit. But then I started looking at my ticket that I have, and I've printed you a courtesy copy here, which you did not have. And I realized that my ticket was not a fast enough speed, you need to slow down anyway, young man, to suspend your license. So then I went back and started going through your paperwork and realized that I'm not the one who suspended your license. The Griffin Municipal Court is the one who suspended your license. And so what I'm doing, and then I went through your official notices and confirmed all of that information. So I've printed my copy, and then I'm putting in your folder the blank form you need from the Griffin Municipal Court. I believe they're in session this morning. I believe they're an easy walk from here. And I'm having you walk out right now, go straight there, and ask them for help. Easiest here in the morning. Right, wrong court. That case is off my list. Okay, let's start working our way through folks. Ms. Davis, come on up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Matthews, y'all both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. My bad. Miss Matthews is politely telling me that I've locked her out. You're no longer locked out, Miss Matthews.
I do.
My bad. Thank you. All right, Miss Davis, you ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Davis, it says here on 19 SR 502 that you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yeah, 2 call-in days on a Wednesday, but I called on that Friday immediately after I realized it.
And that's why this is going to be an easy hearing, because you did violate, but then you tried to fix it,
Yeah.
and that's why this is going to be a very easy hearing. All right, and then you got behind on your fines and fees and did not properly use community service work to get caught up. Is that correct?
Well, they just recently brought that up to me that I could do the community service. I tried paying what I could, and I was gonna make another payment yesterday, but they terminated my unemployment, so I couldn't make that payment. And I called her up, and she told me just come today and.
That's exactly the response. Just remember, Ms. Davis, we're never a cash-only court. So we try to give all kinds of folks with all kinds of financial abilities, all kinds of options to get their cases back on track.
Okay.
All right, this is what we're going to do. Ms. Davis, I'm going to find with your admission that you have violated your probation. I am going to have you report weekly. Your case is terminated upon completion. Excellent. So I'm going to have you report weekly until your case is closed, because that's up to you.
In person?
So I'm going to have you report in person tomorrow.
Okay.
So that would be, what's my date, 6/25. So your next report is in person, 6/25. And then I'm gonna actually leave it up to the probation office. If they feel like they need to see you and have face-to-face communications, they have that option. If they feel like you're on track to get your case resolved,
And
if they want to
exactly.
put you back on the phone, that's up to them. I'm not gonna get involved with that unless I need to.
Okay, exactly how much will I need to pay it out so I can
Well,
come off?
And that's why I've got you reporting tomorrow.
So she'll tell me then?
Yes, because
Okay.
you're telling me you tried to make a payment yesterday, so
Yeah.
let's just have you sit down with them, get a roadmap to get your case closed.
Okay,
It's not very much out of reach, for you to get your case closed. But I do need to tell you though that since there's only 89 days left, I am going to place you on zero tolerance for the duration of your case.
Okay.
And so that's either gonna be 89 days or 1 day.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
I really want you to successfully terminate this case.
Okay.
And see me in your rearview mirror, and I just want to see you at Walmart and say, hello, Miss Davis, how you doing? Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's do that. Let's get you to get this case closed. Let's you and I just bump into each other out in the community and not back in here, okay?
Okay.
All right, so, sign this report tomorrow between 9 and noon or 1:30 and 6 in person. After that, that's up to probation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Davis. If you'll stand over there by the door, the bailiffs will have you sign your paperwork, and they'll give you a copy before you leave. All right, that was Davis. Mason? All right. Ms. Mason, Ms. Matthews, y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
All right, you both sworn. Ms. Mason, will you please state your full name for the court reporter?
Sophia Mason.
All right, and Ms. Mason, you're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You ready to go forward?
Yes.
Your hearing? Okay. Ms. Mason, on 20 SR 1942, it says here that you've missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yes, because when I call on Wednesday, he either in a meeting or on his phone, and I get a call back the next day.
Okay, so you missed it, but then you call back the next day?
No, he'll give me a call back the next day.
Oh, so you're saying you didn't miss your report dates?
Yeah, but I leave a voice message. But he told me to do like something else to get the phone call straight through. But I
Okay.
forgot.
All right. Ms. Matthews, she's denying that she has missed report dates. So if you will please look at your system. This is Tokiri Mason, 20 SR 1942. And if you'll fill me in on where the confusion is. She's typing on her computer. See.
Judge, I have that she's now missed approximately 8 appointments. If she left a voicemail during reporting hours, she would have been given credit for that. I do see where Officer Wigmore would reach out after a missed appointment to address it, but I don't see anywhere she left a voicemail and was given credit for it.
All right, please put on record what your system is if someone were to have called during hours, but you all did not catch that call.
So if someone calls during reporting hours and leaves a voicemail, we go in and give them credit. We either reach back out via phone and try to provide them their next report date. If we're not able to do it by phone, or the PO, if we have an email on file, we'll send them an email letting them know that they've received credit for that for that appointment and that this is their next report date. If it's after hours, before hours, they do not receive credit due to the business is closed.
All right, and can you please put on the record what days you all are alleging that she has missed?
We have that she's missed on March 19th of 2021, March 26th of 2021, April 2nd of 2021, May 14th of 2021, May 19th of 2021, May 26th of 2021, and June 9th of 2021.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Matthews, you want me to know on this matter before I let her cross-examine you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you wish to ask Ms. Matthews any questions? All right. All right. Do you, Ms. Matthews, do you have anything else before you rest?
No, Judge.
All right. Ms. Mason, you have the right to present evidence in your defense at this point if you wish, or you remain silent. If you remain silent, I will not hold that silence against you. What would you like to do?
I go for.
All right. What do you want me to know?
I called on March 19th because that was my birthday, and Officer Stride was my my probation officer at first, and then I got switched over to Officer Whitmore, and then I called the next day. I don't know the specific days that I missed, but I know that I had called and I probably did miss some days, but I also do call back. But I also called him recently, yesterday and the day before, to see how much I had left on my payment, which is $265, which I told him I could pay today. And my case will be closed, and I got to August for my probation to end.
When does her next, Ms. Matthews, when does her next monthly supervision fee become due?
It will be added on July 3rd. It will be added on July 3rd, Judge.
All right, I can't do much about that then. Okay, Ms. Mason, anything else you want me to know?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Matthews, do you rest, Ms. Mason? All right, any rebuttal, Ms. Matthews?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Mason, I am going to find that after a contested hearing about whether or not you reported to probation, there's a sufficient amount of evidence for me to find by preponderance of the evidence that you have failed to properly report to probation as directed. Therefore, I'm not going to do, because of your unwillingness to take responsibility for the situation you created, I'm not going to do my standard response to this. I'm also not going to put you in jail, but you're not going to get to just pay it off tomorrow and close your case. It's clear to me that you need to understand that you're going to abide by my conditions or I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The fact that we just had a contested hearing over whether or not you reported to probation is a bit puzzling to me. I mean, I understand the 19th, but we were also talking about March 26th, April 2nd, May 14th, May 19th, May 26th, and it's not your turn to talk. It is not your turn to talk. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay? I gave you your hearing. I gave you the opportunity to testify. You took it. I listened. And then you closed. That means it's my turn to talk. And you sat in here and you just watched Ms. Glover's hearing. And so the point of you all sitting here is so that you all can understand how this process works. Do you understand me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do not interrupt me again, or I may change my mind and just revoke the balance of your probation and be done with you, because I have that authority under Georgia law. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
This is not your courtroom, and you're not going to run this hearing. Do I need to do anything else to make myself clear about how the remainder of this hearing is going to function?
No, sir.
I'm going to talk because I gave you your turn to talk, and you're going to listen, because when you talked, I respectfully listened. Any questions?
No, sir.
Don't interrupt me again. Ms. Mason, it is very clear to me that you are not taking this seriously, and I'm going to ensure that you do that. Here's what we're doing. You are going to report weekly, in person only. We are done with this phone and you saying you're not there. Your reporting in person will start tomorrow, 6/25/2021, from 9 a.m. to noon or 1:30 to 6. Normally in these situations, when I have an admission, I allow you to go in tomorrow, pay off the case and close it. You no longer have that option. You must report in person for 4 straight weeks until your case can close. Those straight weeks start tomorrow, the 25th. After those 4 weeks have passed, then, if you qualify, you may terminate. I almost took away your terminate upon completion, but frankly, I'm not going to do that. So, get your case closed, report for 4 straight weeks. You're on 0 tolerance for the duration of your case, which means if you don't do exactly what I've just directed you to do and exactly the way I've told you to do it, I will simply issue a warrant and never look back. Do you understand me, Ms. Mason?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about my response is going to be if you step even 1 inch out of line between now and the end of this case?
No, sir.
Sign this document. I'll give you a copy before you go. Back to you. All right, Avery Morgan. All right, good morning, Mr. All right, you and Ms. Matthews both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I do.
And that, Michael, move all around for you. All right, Mr. Morgan, you are here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Says here you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have not had a previous hearing with me. These are not severe technical violations. These are not severe violations. They are minor technical violations. And so let's just give you a nudge and get you back on track. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's do this. I'm going to find with your admission that you have willfully violated your probation. I am going to place you on zero tolerance for, let's just do 30 days. So 30 days. I'm going to have your report tomorrow, 6/25/2021, between 9 a.m. and noon, or 1:30 and 6. And I don't know if probation has you on phone or in-person report, but I'll let them make that call. So just communicate with them. If they think you need to come in, they'll ask you. If they're comfortable with you being on phone, they will. I won't get involved with that unless I need to. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, so 30 days, get your case back on track. I'm gonna have you report weekly until you're back in full compliance.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Matthews, do you need anything else from me on this case?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
One thing. I know if I pay it off, they said I can't get off early.
No, you're no early termination. And I don't know why, and I don't remember your case. But I assure you, if you were to have your case in full compliance, probation has options other than termination to make this easier for you.
I can pay the rest of the fine.
So, well, do what you can to get your case 100% back on track and get all your obligations satisfied. And again, probation has options to make this a whole lot easier on you, short of termination.
Oh.
So, but they're not going to talk about those with you while your case is out of compliance.
All right.
So, great question. Go put some elbow grease into it, and then I think you'll like the results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was it.
Go to the door, sign paperwork. Courtney Smith. All right, you are Courtney Smith? All right, Ms. Smith, Ms. Matthews, you'll both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
All right, you both sworn. Ms. Smith, you are here today on 20 SR 786 because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
So it says here that you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
You haven't had a previous hearing with me, and I've got plenty of time left. So let's craft a solution that nudges your case back on track. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this. So I'm going to find with your admission that you have willfully violated your probation. I am going to have you report weekly. You know, you're within striking distance of getting your case closed. Ms. Matthews, there's no consecutive cases or concurrent cases or anything else we need to worry about, is there?
No, sir.
Excellent. I'm going to mark you as report weekly until your case is closed because that's completely within your hands. I'm also going to place you on zero tolerance for the duration of your case because that's also getting your case closed as well within your hands.
Yes, sir.
You're terminated upon completion. It remains fully in effect because I want you highly motivated to get your case closed. I'm going to have you report just in person tomorrow, 6/25/2021, between 9 a.m. and noon, or 1:30 and 6. You sit down with your probation officer, you all make a roadmap to get your case closed. And just don't forget that, obviously you can do, as you've heard me say a million times before, you can do community service work if this fine is not within your financial abilities.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Smith?
No, sir.
Ms. Matthews, do you need anything else from me on this?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Smith, if you'll step over by the door, the mail, somebody sign the paperwork. All right, my last walk-in will be Walker. I have two more people here. Ms. Walker, if you'll come on up to the podium, please. And both of you, please raise your right hands. Both of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
All right, you're both sworn. Ms. Walker, you're here on 20 SR 1811 because your probation officer you're participating in our pretrial diversion program. And your supervising officer, you're Lucretia Walker?
Yes.
Okay, you're in our pretrial diversion program. That is nice. Actually, workshop, Mr. You're participating in our pretrial diversion program, and your your supervising officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your pretrial diversion program. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
You confused me with the pretrial part.
Did you not enter our pretrial diversion program?
No, sir.
Did you plead guilty on your case?
No, sir. I wasn't given the opportunity. When it was time for me to come to court, I did it virtually, and I was told that I didn't have to enter a plea, that my lawyer would talk to me. And so my lawyer told me that they came to an agreement that my charges would be dropped, and then I would be supervised under probation, but I wouldn't be on probation.
That's correct. Those are all accurate statements.
So I'm just confused on the pretrial part.
I'm putting it up on the wall there.
Okay.
Here we go. Spalding County Solicitor General plea recommendation. That's your name, that's your case number,
Okay.
and your attorney, there's me here, that's the solicitor's office, and that's Mr. Malloy, your attorney.
Okay.
Negotiated this agreement that you would complete 12 months of pre-trial diversion supervision, which is different than probation.
Okay, so that's what it's called.
$500 fee, complete a family violence intervention program, let the juvenile court control contact with your minor, and that it's the full 12 months. Once you successfully complete it, your case will be dismissed and your record will be restricted. Do you understand that now?
Yes, now I do. Thank you.
Okay. When you met with probation, Ms. Matthews, did you all provide her with a copy of this document when she met with you all? I mean, I'm printing a copy either way.
Judge, I'm gonna have to make an assumption here based off when she was sentenced back in February. We were still fully over the phone. So it is likely that she has not been provided with a copy if the
Got
attorney.
it. Well, and that's why I asked because, when we restarted for jury trials and whatnot, we were really still struggling with what this should look like. So, okay, well, for record purposes then, I have printed a copy of the pretrial diversion order. And pass it up to bailiff for Ms. Walker to get a copy.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Walker, let's talk through, did you miss some of your scheduled report dates?
Yes.
And did you get behind on your fines and fees and not use community service work to get caught up?
Correct.
Where are you at on your family violence intervention program?
I am still diligently trying to get in contact with the representative from the Department of Family Children Services. I was informed that nobody else would be able to give me that information or proof that I've already done that, except for that lady, and I've not been able to get in contact with her. I told the probation officer that I have now, she's a female, I can't remember her name, that it was just a struggle, and she said, yes, she understood that, because there was a struggle for them to get in contact with them.
Okay.
And I will say, I missed my last appointment with her because my fiance had a stroke. So
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
currently back and forth from here to Marietta, and I'm the only person taking care of him. So
Okay.
that's my struggle right now.
That's all right. I hear what you're saying, and I think I have a pathway to get all of this back on track, so. All right, so, Ms. Walker, I'm going to find that you have admitted to violating pretrial diversion conditions. I'm going to leave you in the program because the goal here is just to kind of give you a nudge and get you back on track.
Yes, sir.
So you're remaining in the program. I'm gonna have you report weekly just until your case is back in full compliance. I'm going to place you on zero tolerance for 60 days. And I'm going to give you, so now here's the pressure. I'm going to say that within 30 days, you must begin a family violence intervention program and complete it without interruption. So the pressure is on now, Ms. Walker, for you to do, there's family violence intervention programs all over the state. It's a state mandated curriculum and they're everywhere. So you might have to reach outside of our area. You said you're going up into Atlanta. Atlanta has those classes and they start all the time. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Thank you for raising your hand and letting me call on you instead of interrupting me like the last two folks. Yes, ma'am.
Family violence, could you please explain to me? Because they had me do some different classes. And I was under the impression that family violence was one of those classes that I completed.
Was one of the classes like a 7-month course that you did weekly classes on?
No.
Okay, then that's not it. Why don't you provide those to probation?
Okay.
Provide everything you've done to probation.
Okay.
I'm leaving this on the table though, and let them take a look at what's going on. And has juvenile court modified or changed their orders for you in any way whatsoever?
The last order he has is that my contact with my daughter is strictly through my mother. So
Okay.
whatever she mandates my visitation is with her is what it will be.
Okay.
So,
Why don't you give that, a copy of that to probation as well? So
Okay.
give to, when you go, if you can get it tomorrow, great. If not, next report date, take all of your paperwork so that they can pick through it and see what they can find. Let's go from there.
okay,
You now have a copy of, this is the problem with the virtuals, so you now have a copy of your pretrial diversion agreement. You can go over that tomorrow with probation, and Ms. Matthews can have you sign whatever it is she needs you to sign. Let's get your case back on track. Okay?
yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You may
you.
step over there with probation. Mr. Standard, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Standard, I was going to tell you that I'm not going to handle this virtual, but I see that it's just a modification. So since you're not in trouble and this is not an adversarial hearing, I will allow you to present this case virtually.
Okay, thank you.
Give me a second, I've got to block the court reporter. There we go. Now, we've got you both up here. All right.
Mr. Thacker, I apologize. I also told Mr. Standard he could appear virtually prior to our conversation last week, and I did not go
Yes.
back and address him.
No, and there was no reason for you to do that. I frankly pronounced that this morning out of a moment of frustration, because I don't mind telling you I am very frustrated with the folks who fail to appear to go see you, and then show up virtually here, and I still don't have, my proverbial hands on them. So that's just me getting frustrated with the virtual people who don't show, and then they pop in virtually, and then they disappear again. So Mr. Standard's situation, I'm gonna tell you, Ms. Matthews, anytime a modification, I'm comfortable with this, I can tell you this, anytime a modification wishes to report virtually, go for it. It's not an adversarial hearing, and I'm very comfortable with that. So, and if you determine that that's proper, I'm great with it. It's the revocations I'm frustrated with. So, and sorry for just making pronouncements off the bench without talking to you.
Yes, sir. No, you're fine. I didn't want Mr. Standard to be held because that was my call and I apologize.
And you made the right call, Ms. Matthews. All right, well, tell me a little bit about Mr. Standard's case and how he's doing.
So Mr. Standard was ordered to complete 40 hours of community service. He's completed those. He was ordered to complete DUI school. He's completed that. He has not missed any appointments, and he's paid off the full 12-month balance in both fine and fees. At this point, there's no outstanding conditions.
Okay. Has he missed any probation dates, or and does he have any infractions at all on anything?
No, sir, nothing.
Is he currently on phone report?
Yes, sir. I believe I have him reporting monthly by phone.
I'm torn, Mr. Standard, just to be really honest. I really want to reward the fantastic job you have done. On the other hand, though, just to be very blunt with you, I just am a little concerned because of the, serious nature of your original charges. And you've gotten a benefit by pleading to a reduced charge. In 60 seconds or less, tell me why in the world I should cut you loose.
Okay, yes, sir. And thank you for hearing this. I mean, I've really taken this seriously. I wanted to knock everything out, the probation, the payment. I mean, I've really learned a lot from watching the Facebook streams with you on that, and I highly respect not what you do daily, plus on the Facebook stuff. I mean, it's a lot of work, and I've seen all the cases, and it's just really making me take a new look at things, and I just want to kind of put this past me, and what I was originally asking for is maybe to do non-report probation. I understand you put no early termination, but I just want to put this past me and move on with life.
I do not. How would you know non-report? I was thinking we were talking about terminating. I'm comfortable with non-report. Do you need to see him tomorrow, Ms. Matthews, or whatever is next? If I were to convert it to that.
We would just need to get his petition signed, Judge, would be the only outstanding condition. If he's can't accommodate tomorrow, if he'd be willing to accommodate the following Friday, if the courts are okay with that, I'm okay with it. I would just like to have his signature on this petition, finalize everything, and then allow him to go to non-report if that's okay with you.
Mr. Standard, when's a good time for you to go to probation? This Friday or next Friday?
Well, I mean, would it be possible, could I fax or scan my signature to you, or do you need it in person? I mean, I can make it happen. My business is in Fayetteville and I'm here all the time. And so, I mean, if I have to, I can try to stop in before work and just be in late.
How about this? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, follow me to the end of what I'm about to say. I'm going to order you to report next Friday. That would be July 2nd, 2021, between 9 a.m. and noon, or 1:30 and 6. In the meantime, I want you to email your probation officer, which is, I guess, Mr. Wigmore or Ms. Matthews. Ms. Matthews, do you have a good email address for him?
I do. I believe we've communicated via email, and Judge, if you don't mind, if he'll just communicate with me, that way I can make sure it's taken care of.
All right, so email Ms. Matthews. Between here and there, if you all can work that out and get all the signatures needed and everything lines up, then obviously you'll be non-report and release for next Friday. If not, you're gonna need to report next Friday.
Okay, yes, sir. I do truly appreciate it.
All right, I'm marking here that the motion for modification is, I'm gonna say partially granted. And I'm gonna say non-report upon completion. And obviously that includes all the appropriate signatures, paperwork, and everything else. So, Mr. Standard, we just want to reward folks that have done well. And you've worked very hard to get your case closed, and I want to help you do that.
Okay, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ms. Matthews.
All right, keep an eye on your email, Mr. Standard, and respond quickly when you see an email.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, I have two people here that, because otherwise I'm finished. So I have, well, three. I have a virtual case, Ashley Standard. Ms. Standard, unmute yourself and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh, that was me you just spoke to.
Ashley Scott. Ashley Scott, unmute yourself and tell me what you're doing here.
Hi, Judge. I was told to log in today for a hearing. I actually missed the 17th. Like I was having difficulties or whatever, and a warrant was issued, and I'm trying to resolve it.
What's your full name, first, middle, last?
Ashley Shante Scott, but on your record, it's Holloway.
Which explains why I can't find you. Because I've been typing in Scott all morning trying to find you. You're Ashley Holloway.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're under a warrant status you're under a warrant.
Yeah, I know my probation officer told me that on last week, but like I didn't just not appear, and I don't live in Georgia anymore. I live in Texas, and so I was just basically trying to do whatever to get to the bottom of it because I don't want to be out here with a warrant.
Well, if I might just be so direct, Miss Scott, you are here with a warrant. I'm going to put up on your screen, and let's all mark our calendars that this is Ashley Scott Holloway. Her case number is 19 SR 0243. She's in my system as Ashley Holloway. I put up on there Ashley Holloway Scott. Here's the sentencing order. You entered a guilty plea to shoplifting back on May 19th. At that plea, I noted that you were out of state, could report by phone, and I directed you to report by phone on May 25th, 2021 at 2 p.m. So, okay. There's nothing I can do for you today, Ms. Scott. You're going to need to talk to your probation officer or turn yourself into the Spalding County Jail.
No.
I'm unwilling to lift your warrant at this time.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
I had already spoke with my probation officer, and she told me I had to speak with you. But then I called the public defender's office, and then they're the ones that told me to log in. But like I've been following all the orders. I didn't know that I was supposed to appear back in court. Like she told me, but it was like I thought you said to just call and report and to let her know that I received SSI, so I wasn't able to pay the fines, and I did everything you asked me to do.
Okay. Well, this case is not on for a hearing today, Ms. Holloway. And again, the reason you're under warrant is because I personally directed you to appear here, May 25th, 2021. I'm looking at the arrest, your arrest warrant, which was signed 2 days ago, that says that you failed to report. And then I scheduled it for a hearing, and you failed to come to the hearing. So,
No, no, sir. I'm sorry.
yeah, I get it that you think that the answer is no, but I don't actually care that you disagree with me. So you're stuck with this one. So, Ms. Matthews, if she wants to reach out with you to see about getting her case back on track, she's welcome to do that, but I'm not lifting the warrant at this time. So, Ms. Holloway, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. You logged in and addressed your case with me. You just didn't get the answer you wanted, and that's why you're a little frustrated, and I respect that. But not everybody gets the answer they want out of me. So,
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't, it's not about the answer that I wanted. I'm just saying I followed all the guidelines that you told me to follow. You didn't tell me that I was going to have to reappear, is what I'm
okay.
saying. Like, I
Sure.
called and checked in.
So turn yourself into the Spalding County Jail, and we'll have a hearing and determine what happened on your case. So, okay, you're not on today's calendar. I have addressed you, Ms. Scott, which I did not have any obligation to do. I'm sorry that you're unhappy with the statement that I've made, but that is the decision. I'm going to direct you at this point to reach out to JAG Probation and see about maybe getting your case back on track. And if you do that, then I may reconsider. At this point, I'm not making any changes. Okay, Ms. Scott, Ms. Holloway, it's your responsibility at this point to reach out to JAG and see what they say next. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who do I have? What's your name?
Montgomery.
Louder.
Montgomery.
Come on up. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
State your full name for the court report.
Tria Montgomery.
Ms. Montgomery, I called your case this morning at 9 o'clock. You did not answer, and I issued a warrant for your arrest. My plan at this moment is to have you taken into custody and to reset your case for another date. You understand that's my current intention?
Yes, sir.
Here we are. Your case is 20 TK 1063. Where were you late to court today?
I was outside. I was a few minutes late, but I do apologize.
Okay, I can address that. All right, Ms. Montgomery, did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir. There was a lack of communication on my end.
Well, I appreciate your personal responsibility on that. We're gonna get that fixed. Okay. Ms. Montgomery, I'm gonna find with your admission that you willfully violated your probation. I'm gonna lift your warrant. I'm going to have you report weekly.
Yes, sir.
In person. You're on, for the duration of your case, you're on zero tolerance for the duration of your case. For being late to court today, you will complete 8 hours of community service work. But I will not place you in jail. How about that for a trade-off?
Yes, sir.
Your non-report status upon completion is still available to you. And so if you get these things done quickly, then your case may go to non-report status. Okay, so I'm still holding that out there for you to go get it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I've moved the goalpost back. Well, frankly, you've moved the goalpost back away from you, but it's still there. Put your best efforts into it and do it. And if you don't, then I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm gonna have your report tomorrow, June 25th, 2021, in person, between 9 a.m. and noon, or 1:30 and 6.
Okay.
Sign this before you leave.
Do you know where I can do the
You can talk to your probation officer about that tomorrow, and they will answer that question for you.
Thank you.
You'll get that answer tomorrow. Okay. What's your name?
Arteria Barton.
Barkley?
Yes.
I don't have you on my calendar. Hold tight. What's your name?
Reginald Dewberry.
I don't have you either. All right, Barkley, come on up. You said last name Dewberry?
Barkley?
You're Barkley?
Yeah, I'm Barkley.
That's Dewberry.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on.
Dewberry, on the 10th.
Spell your first name for me.
Arkeriya.
Middle name Shavika.
Yes.
You know why you're here?
It said a bench trial on the paper. It came in the mail.
Ms. Matthews, any assistance here would be greatly appreciated. I mean, you have it.
She recently took a plea on May 24th and was placed on probation. I don't know if this would have been the jury trial date in reference to that.
Ah, okay. Let me print this for you, because I'm not seeing that you're in trouble with me. Which is a
It's
wonderful
20
place.
SR 1614.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. So 20 SR 1614. It has you, Arteria Barkley, and I'm printing it for you.
Okay.
And I don't show that you're in trouble.
Thank you.
And what I'm going is I'm going back to check your reset notice, because I believe it's going to tell me that you have a bench trial this week.
Mhm.
And that will make a lot of sense. No, I've got nothing. Ms. Matthews, do you have good contact information for her, or should I just send her to see you tomorrow?
Yes, sir. She was just recently placed on probation. She reported last week. She's welcome to come see us tomorrow if she needs to.
Yeah, I'm not showing it. I'm worried that you have a case somewhere else that you're confused about. I'm worried that some judge somewhere is issuing a bench warrant for you right now, and I can't find it. That's what I'm worried about.
Judge Thacker,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe send her over to the municipal court. There was supposed to have been court today, but they ended up having to cancel that court. And I believe it was trials today, so it could possibly have been reset to a different day. So maybe check with them.
I think that's a great solution. Again, that's what you're sensing from me, is just a fear that some judge somewhere is grumpy with you because you're in my courtroom. And every time that happens, we try to vouch for that person and say, hey, they were here, they just weren't there. So get that from Mr. Taylor. Go into the parking deck over here, go talk to the clerk of the municipal court and see if they are looking for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're good. Good luck to you, and report probation like you're supposed to.
Thank you.
And that was Miss Arteria Barkley, Arkeriya, 20 SR 1614. So I'm just gonna mark her as a walk-in, and everything's under control. All right, what's your name?
My name is Reginald Dewberry.
All right, Reginald Dewberry, born in 91?
Yes, sir. No, 1990.
1990?
Yes, sir.
There we are. What's your middle name?
Bernard.
You're in a warrant status.
Yeah, I'm just now noticing that. That's why I came up here. It said I was went to court on June the 10th, but I was at my doctor. I was not notified to come to court.
Oh, don't say that.
I ain't gonna say not notified.
Don't say that because you signed for it. So, which makes me think that if you're unable to sign a document, remember that you signed it and appear in court, then the best option for me is to take you into custody. So we don't have to worry about that. Look right here on the wall. I'm putting it up here. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that last thing you just said because you don't want me to take you into custody. Is that your name?
Yes, sir.
That's one of your several cases with me. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Is those your initials?
Yes, sir.
There's your court date. Okay? So don't tell me you didn't know that you had court. You signed for it. And more importantly, you have so many cases. I'm going to make a bad decision. I'm going to lift your warrant, and I'm probably going to regret it. Because frankly, I don't want them to have to take you to the jail over 3 traffic violations. But let me be extraordinarily clear, Mr. DeBerry. You are out of options with me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, I'm about to turn your case into a rocket docket, and we are going to fire this off to its closure. Mr. DeBerry, I'm officially arraigning you on your 3 cases. Your 3 case numbers are 21 TK 0672, 21 TK 0804, 21 TK 114. You will appear for your mandatory counter call on August 10th, 2021 at 9 a.m. Your jury trial week will be August 16th, 2021, each day at 9 a.m. Have I sufficiently refreshed your memory that you received notice that you were supposed to be in court?
Yes, sir.
What is your full name, first, middle, last?
Reginald Bernard Dewberry II.
That's what's going on. I've got Reginald Dewberrys all over the place. And I've got one of you. Are you 122890?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Somebody mistakenly put you in here as 122891 on one set of your cases. So I'm going to fix that and combine that. And you are, and your dad was born in 65?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because he has his own set of cases pending, I think. Do you understand that if you were even 1 minute late from now to the end of these cases, I will lock you up so fast your head will spin?
Yes, sir.
And I will be utterly unsympathetic about any future excuses. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm pleading you not guilty on 21 TK 672. This is officially your arraignment. 21 TK 0804. 21 TK 1114. You are officially pled not guilty on those cases. I'm setting you down for a jury trial. If you you have the right to have an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
These are all payable offenses. If you choose to pay off these tickets before your court date, you will be released from those court dates and you will not need to appear for your jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that I will be absolutely and utterly unsympathetic for any excuse, no matter what it is, that causes you to miss or even be 1 minute late to any court date from now until these 3 cases are closed?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other cases that I'm missing that you and I need to talk about?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Go over there, sign the paperwork. I'll see you in August,
All right,
unless you close your case. All right. Issue the warrants, forfeit the cash bonds. Ms. Matthews, do you need anything else before I close the feed and adjourn court?
No, sir.
All right. Then it's 11:26. Court is adjourned.